Okay, today we are discussing dotted quarter notes. Dotted quarter notes are going to kind of fill in the gap with everything else that we have learned here today. So what I mean by that is we know that we have whole notes are 4, dotted halves notes are 3, half notes are 2, quarter notes are 1, and we have eighth notes, which are half. So a dotted quarter note, we take a quarter note, put a dot next to it, they equal 1 and a half. So they're right in between here. Now the problem is that can be a little confusing because they're not quite one count, they're not quite two counts. Now you're going to be surprised once we start playing these, you'll have heard these all over the place. These are used very commonly, so we're going to play a lot of songs today. You'll notice already probably on your page that if you've looked, some of the very famous songs use this dotted quarter note, so it won't be too hard from there using famous songs to help you play through that. Okay, so this is how a dotted quarter note works in a measure. It'll always be paired with a single eighth note. Remember, eighth notes we've seen so far have always been paired, so they're connected together. When they're single, we have just that. They'll always be paired with that because between the two of them, this is 1.5 count here, this is a half a count. Between those two, there's 2 counts when we add those two together. So the first one is going to be, in this case, labeled as 1. Count 2 is actually in the middle here, not being played, and this is the and of 2. So it's 1, 2, and 3, 4 in this case. 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. The picking directions I prefer to use as a down, up, down, down. Because the down here that we're skipping makes it easier to do the up afterwards. So I prefer to do down, up, down, down. Now another alternative that's okay, if you want, you can do down, down, up, down. That's fine with me. Either one of those will work for what we need to do. Down, down, up, down. That's really weird for me, but most kids will get by with doing that. But the preferred method is if you can do down, up, down, down. Just make sure that again we are not doing all downs. Doesn't matter what happens here afterwards, that would be the same. I can move that dotted quarter note to different parts of the measure and it would still work the same. A lot of our songs are going to put it right in the middle, or right at the first of the measure instead of the middle, but it is possible to put it here in the middle. Works very similar. 1, 2, this would be 3 this time, and 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's the basics of dotted quarter notes.